Good day everyone, I am Canderson Mayti Pahoyo and today I am going to discuss about the topic navigating the command line interface under the Section 2 Basic Cisco Router and Switch Management. In today's learning objectives, we are going to discuss further about the Cisco IOS command line interface and its purpose, the different modes on a Cisco IOS based device, and the CLI command keyboard shortcuts. Cisco IOS command line interface is a primary user interface used for configuring, monitoring, and maintaining Cisco devices. It also allows to directly and simply execute Cisco IOS commands, whether using Route Console or Terminal or using remote access method. So mastering the different commands in CLI is one of the absolute requirements for a user to configure and navigate Packet Tracer and to connect the devices on it. There are several different types of modes in Cisco CLI. These are the following. First is the user exec mode, which limits as to the commands the user are able to execute from the CLI. Second is the privileged exec mode, which have the access to all the commands. And third is the global configuration mode. Configure general system characteristics, which able also to enter specific configuration modes and allows changes to the running configuration. Another three are the specific configuration modes, the configuration submodes, and the configuration sub-submodes. The first three, which I described and given their meaning, are the one which I will focus on this discussion. So basically, each command mode has its own set of commands available for the configuration, maintenance, and monitoring of router and network operations. The commands are available to you at any given time, depend on the mode you are in. So the next part is the CLI command keyboard shortcuts that would help the user save time and effort since they could use keyboard shortcuts to enter command on the command line interface. So we will go to our Cisco Packet Tracer and we will open a network device, which is the router, and then another end device, which is the PC, and then drag it on the blank page. Next is we will set connection and configure their ports. So we will choose console port and we will connect it to the router. So this is the virtual console connection, and then let's click the router or the PC and then on the desktop so we can see that there is a port configuration default settings. Let's click OK, and then we can see here that there is already a terminal on the PC, but this time we will not use it. Instead, we will select the router CLI. So under the CLI tab, we can see here the copyright description of the Cisco CLI, and at the bottom there's a question: would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog? Then let's type no, and then press return to get started. So let's click enter. So the first place that we will go is the user exec mode, as you can see in the greater than sign. And then let's issue the command, the question mark, so we can see your different commands. And then, like for example, the show. Next is we will issue the command enable in order to enter to the next configuration mode, which is the privilege exec mode denoted with the number sign. And then let's issue or enter question mark, and another set of commands are displayed on the CLI. Let's click enter in order to load more, and then queue for the exit or to exit the commands. Next is we will enter to the global configuration mode, which is or issue the command config terminal. So it is noted by the config open close parenthesis. And then here we can configure the router name and its settings. So using the host name and word of the router that you want, or the name of the router that you want, then it can be changed to that certain term. And then you can exit in order to save the changes using the command copy running config startup configuration. And let's just accept the default settings and click and enter. So we are back with our privilege exit mode, and click the exit in order to be back to the user exit mode. So for example, we issue the command config terminal using Control H. A character to the left of the cursor will be deleted. Next is Control U. All characters from the cursor to the beginning of the line will be deleted. Next is the up and down arrows to use the recent commands that you issue. Next is Control U, which was the word to the left of the cursor will be deleted. Next is the question mark, which will show all the commands available in that command mode. And then enter to load more commands, and then Q or Control C to exit the more options. Tab is to expand the command of the abbreviation. Control B or left arrow key is to move one character to the left or to the backward. And then next is Control A, which moves the cursor to the beginning of the line. And lastly is Control E, which moves the cursor to the end of the line. Last but not the least is the exit command to return the previous mode or exit from the CLI from exit mode. So that's all for the topic about navigating the command line interface with its different command modes. Thank you for listening, and God bless.